Hi, I'm Rod Zamron, and this is my video project for this week for the TH248 class. I'm trying to get the glare off my glasses here, if you'll just bear with me for a moment. I really enjoyed this week's assignment because I saw Stomp about 10 years ago at the Wharton Center in East Lansing, and I really liked it. So to be able to reconnect to that for this week's project was kind of exciting. I was really glad to be able to do that and be reminded of why I liked it in the first place. So that naturally leads to the first point, or the first critical element, and that's entertainment. I found the whole thing entertaining. I enjoy performing arts. I enjoy theater and music, and I've never been into dance that much, although I've always recognized that it is a very difficult art form to master, and when done well, it looks effortless, but of course it's anything but. What entertained me was how Stomp so seamlessly merges all of that, merges dance and music and percussion and the way the actors or performers connect with the audience. And I found that really entertaining. There's a story being told in almost each of these individual skits. I was a little bit distracted by the one performer because I thought he looked like Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, but didn't take anything away from the performance at all. In terms of the second element, society, does the play deal with any relevant societal issues? I don't think it does, but I think that's okay. I don't think it has to. I don't think every piece of good art or great art or important art has to deal with any kind of societal issues. And I'm not necessarily saying that Stomp is up there with Michelangelo's David or any of the great operas or paintings of the times, but still, it's enjoyable. I don't think any social issues are dealt with here, but it was very entertaining as a whole, and I think that's what it set out to do. In terms of the next element is how do I view it as an individual, and how did this affect me, or how did I view it uniquely? Because I do enjoy performing arts, even before I started kind of getting back into it a little bit here in middle age a few years ago. I liked watching it, and this was something so different than a big flashy Broadway extravaganza or an opera or an art exhibit or a sculpture. I've never been to a ballet, but I don't think those dancers work any harder than these dancers do. So for me, it was something that really brought dance into an element that I'm more familiar with, and that's music, percussion specifically, which when it comes to music, I was never a percussionist, but the way they use so many different instruments or pieces of anything, junk, as percussion, I just thought that was very cool. To the next question, is it art? I think it absolutely is, and I think it expands my idea of what constitutes art, because it does have those different elements. There's not any dialogue in this, but it really shows a lot of imagination, a lot of creativity, and I think you really have to stop and think about what goes into creating this performance. The rehearsal, the timing has to be absolutely pinpoint, and these performers are athletes, really. They have to be just as finely tuned as any professional athlete. They have to be in just tip-top condition. They have to have stamina. They have to have endurance, speed, timing, body control, agility, everything that you need to see in an athlete, the Stomp performers have. So finally, is theater the best medium for this event? And this makes me think about something that was brought forth, I think, in the first week of class, and that is theater can happen anywhere. And to that extent, I think theater is the best medium for this, but to look at it a little more narrowly, I think theater really is the only medium for this. What Stomp brings you wouldn't work in book form at all. There would be some appeal to printed pictures of it, like snapshots in a photo album, but it wouldn't begin to tell you the story of what's going on and what the experience is like. It would be a nice reminder of what you saw, but to show it to somebody that hadn't seen the show, I don't think would do much for them. It wouldn't, of course, any of the still life mediums like sculpture or painting wouldn't apply here, although this is a beautiful expression of the human body as those are. I don't think it would work as well as a movie, although this presentation was pretty much like a movie, the YouTube video that we watched. with the different camera angles and audience reaction and so forth. That was entertaining, and that's something you don't get in the theater, but as you mentioned, this isn't the same as seeing it in the theater. And that reminds me, I saw Stomp, as I said, about 10 years ago, and when I saw it, one thing it didn't have that this had was the wall at the back of the stage that the performers climbed, and that added a vertical element to the show that it didn't have before. So I absolutely think theater is not just the best venue for this, but really the only venue for something like this. So I really enjoyed this week's assignment, and I hope you enjoyed this report.